When they said, ayo kita kerjain ini, and then they said, no, I hate it. I said, but I like the staff yang bilang gini, no, Pak Iwan, we can do better. Orang yang excellent itu tidak perlu harus dipaksa untuk jadi excellent. Nggak usah diajarin atau dipaksa harus belajar, because they already know the standard of excellence. I learned from the survival of my fight bahwa I need rest. If I need rest sebagai owner, my staff also need rest. Jadi aku sekarang bilang mereka, I do not want you to work tanpa break setiap 3 bulan. Pokoknya tiap 3 bulan you have to have a break.
Hai semuanya, selamat datang di Ngopi, Ngobrol Penuh Inspirasi. Hari ini Kotomi ditemani oleh 2 tamu spesial. Yang satu sahabat saya dari Australia, datang dari jauh-jauh sana untuk menghadiri berbagai kegiatan yang luar biasa di Indonesia. Tapi satu hal yang Kotomi salut, dia tetap meluangkan waktu untuk menyapa sahabat dan juga pastinya kita semua bisa belajar sesuatu yang berarti dari beliau. Oke, saya perkenalkan.
Halo.
Pak Iwan Sunito.
Halo, Kotomi.
Saya nggak tahu mau ngomong welcome back to Indonesia atau always di Indonesia. Dan Sam, hai halo. Sam.
Kotomi.
Ya. Oke, Pak Iwan, kalau misalnya ditanya nih, Pak Iwan ini hari-hari biasa makan apa sih Pak? Kok bisa kayak begitu? Terus bergaul sama siapa? Ini pertanyaan Gen Z nih Pak ya. Pak Iwan ini makan apa? Bergaul sama siapa? Tiap hari mikirnya apa? Dan lakukan apa sih? Kok bisa sampai kaya raya kayak begitu?
Oke, I think jawabannya aku makan secukupnya aja tiap hari gitu. I'm not a big eater, I'm not a foodie. Aku makan secukupnya, and I'm mindful to be healthy, and karena to me that's important.
Pak Iwan bergaul sama siapa?
I mix with almost everybody. I mix with the rich, the nobody, the everybody, and I like learning. But I love architecture so much. I love architecture. Jadi architecture is my passion. And I work hard because I know that I'm not that smart. Jadi untuk aku to be good, I have to put a lot of hours. And that's how I did it. Maybe you can ask Sam, what does he see?
Apa yang Pak Iwan almost tiap hari pikirkan selain memikirkan Sam?
I'm very focused dengan my goal. So my vision right from day one, 20-30 tahun lalu sampai, and then the vision keep growing, itu I'm very focused. Aku orang yang sangat, I pick my goal and I just work towards that goal. Jadi aku nggak, don't change my goal. Jadi orangnya arsitek, mau jadi developer. So I did that, right? So along the way, karena goalnya seperti itu, and I don't know how to do it, belajarlah dari Pak Robi Johan, Pak Ciputra, all of these great leaders out there. So I'm very driven to have with my focus. So I mix only with people that helps me to feel my goal. So I don't waste my time dengan kumpul-kumpul untuk ngopi-ngopi kemana-mana kiri kanan gitu. So when I'm traveling, it's to feel that goal too. Lihat architecture, design, marketing, sales campaign to get to that goal there. So so that's what I did.
Jika hari ini seluruh asetnya Pak Iwan hilangkan. Dan Pak Iwan harus from the scratch lagi dari awal. What you gonna do? Apa yang Pak Iwan akan lakukan?
Well, I've been through that 3.5 years ago. I almost lost it all. So
pertanyaan ini saya lihat Bapak langsung berkaca-kaca. Dan ini sebenarnya pertanyaan yang datang dari salah satu netizen, teman saya yang baru-baru ini invest di tempat tertentu yang mungkin Pak Iwan tahu lah ya. Tadinya dipersiapkan untuk ya kan, tapi tidak jadi, dia terlalu banyak dan sekarang semua gone. So what you gonna do?
Ya benar, itu pertanyaan yang relevan, dan juga saya banyak teman yang sangat sukses sekali, tahu-tahu everything is gone. And bicara soal suksesnya, my friends level is like kehilangan triliun ya. And our family went through a time where we almost lost it all gitu. And so what did I do ya? And now what I did ya waktu itu, I learned the power. Ini simpelnya, I learned that you need to learn to just live for another day. Jadi belajar cukup untuk just to live for another day. Don't do stupid thing. Dalam hal, don't make stupid thing to yourself or to other people. Just learn to live for another day. Because tomorrow there's gonna be another battle. Itu aja. If you can just stand for another day and learn to rest for another day, besok bisa berubah. Karena bukannya kita yang become brilliant, sometimes seringkali musuhnya yang salah jalan. Ekonomi berubah, timing berubah. So I learned about that. The second thing that I learned adalah aku belajar untuk menjual diriku.
Wah, ini bakal viral nih kayaknya nih. Iya.
Because your greatest asset is yourself. Benar kan? I learned to sell my dream back again waktu lagi susah. I talk to people waktu kita lagi di bawah about the vision, visi kita yang almost gone, but we go back to the vision. Nah, visi ini powerful karena kita, you know what I learned about this? Yang ini Charlie Munger yang berkata begini ya. Charlie Munger berkata bahwa saya belajar untuk nggak menceritakan kepada orang masalah saya. Karena dia bilang 90% don't care, nggak peduli. 10% happy kalau kamu punya problem katanya. So it's better for you to talk about your vision daripada waktu kita susah. Waduh kita cerita kemana-mana. Wah partner kita begini, nggak fair. Waduh ekonomi begini, pemerintah A, B, C, D. The reality is all government in the world is struggling. Jadi bukan cuma government Indonesia, it's the whole world. Nguber kiri dan kanan, taxnya semua. It's happened in Australia. Waktu COVID orang nggak bayar tax masih dimundurin. Sekarang you don't pay tax, they just go for you. So you can complain about that, but nobody really cares about it karena mereka punya problem yang sama. So I learned to just cast the vision and then start walking to that vision. Belajar untuk just sell yourself because we are the one that has the idea, the vision, and out of the blue, waktu di tengah-tengah kita nggak melihat jalan keluar, and I start telling the world about what I do, my vision to go public again, a phone call rang from London, dari salah satu kepala bank bilang lalu, hey, can we fund you? Lihat, because orang juga tahu dalam masalah ada oportunitas kan. Jadi, and we can see juga di Indonesia yang banyak sekali konglomerat yang dulu waktu krisis moneter Asia, they become super wealthy kan. Waktu mereka buying a lot of company. Juga kita belajar juga waktu banyak sekali perusahaan ini tutup, konglomerat yang kelihatannya habis kembali lagi kan. Karena mereka belajar untuk beli asetnya kembali. So you don't just give up, you can get it back because only you know the product better than anybody else.
Yes, the experience.
Yeah.
Di umur berapa Pak waktu itu mengalami?
I was 56, so I'm now close to 60.
56, you crashed down?
Yeah. It's everything that we built for 25 years. It was not me. It was thing that happened that is beyond our control. And I think they can read it in the media. But having said that, we're grateful that it happened. Yeah. I always just cherish about what the past is. I'm glad that it happened. Tapi dalam 3 tahun kita rebuild the whole business and we branded One Global Capital. Kita membangun bisnis lebih besar dari hasil 25 tahun.
Iya, saya ada dengar itu.
For a good purpose gitu. Jadi, but I almost gave up. And I want to say to friends yang betul-betul out there yang merasa feeling like give up, just say, bring it on. Because I just learn to live for another day and learn to, aku belajar yang practical, I learn to walk 10,000 steps, langkah 1 hari. Karena waktu kita 10,000, 15,000 langkah, kita kecapean. Tommy. Waktu kita kecapean, our brain cannot function anymore at night, kita sleep. Sleep is number 1. You lose your sleep, you lost it all. Okay, so now my second daughter always just pull me every night. Now, Dad, let's walk. So jam 10 malam kita jalan ke samping ke daerah ke surround area. Now, I learn waktu perut kita kempes, tidurnya enak banget. But so what saved me on that time adalah waktu aku almost feel like giving up. And Sam knew it, and the whole family knew it. And I was glad anak-anak don't rely on me. Anak-anak sudah biasa untuk independent ya, and they have to fight for their own fight. And they say, look, Dad, we're fine as long as you're good, right? So I asked my wife, I said, Mom, let's go to Japan. I said, can we just buy the cheapest flight, the cheapest hotel, as long we're just gonna have a break, right? And we did that for 3 days karena di Jepang kan orang jalan terus kan, jalan ngangkat koper, ngangkat ini, terus itu turun tangga. And then the first night I slept 1 more hour. The second night I slept more hour. The third day something goes back at me. In that time aku sudah 6 bulan going through the worst depression that I've ever been, right? And suddenly the song came back, and then from there on, no turning back. I just go. And then I learned about just sleep for one more day. No, it's not a spiritual problem. It's a physical problem. Lack of sleep yang destroy more business. Lalu, so you go back and then you just learn to, once your energy is back again, and sleep, water, exercise, eat, right? But number one is sleep. Once your brain works again, you are ready to fight. So then I learned the next thing is to just fight for right now. Ya, jadi dalam hal maksudnya, don't worry about the future. You just win now. Right now, if I'm meeting with someone, I want to just focus on that thing.
Oke. Sam, rasanya Koko nggak bisa nggak nanya kamu nih, Sam. Tadinya pertanyaan ini adalah tentang bagaimana rasanya jadi seorang putranya konglomerat. Tapi I change the question suddenly.
Okay.
So, dengan kondisi Papa at that time, yang tadinya dengan begitu berkelimpahan, Papa mengalami crash down, apa pergumulan batinnya Sam? Dan why? Kenapa kalian bisa kata, Papa, tenanglah, it's okay, kita bisa, gitu. How?
Yeah, I think waktu itu
Yeah.
ya susah juga sih, seeing
Yeah.
my dad, going through a really tough time, and
Okay.
we grew up quite like not very lavish or anything like that, and dad kind of
Yeah.
from kitchen hand dulu
Yeah.
when a uni student, terus like
Yeah.
so, and then my mom's very so we know what it's like to have much and also not to have much, and so I think at that time I just knew his mental health and his health was more important daripada kalau ada big business or a big name. I think at
Yeah.
the end of the day the most important thing is that your soul is on fire and that you have joy.
Yeah.
And so I think at that time I just said, Dad, like, we love you, we care about you, and you're not what you build, you're who you are to us, which is my dad.
Oke. So, apa yang Sam pelajari dari kejadian itu? What you learn? One thing, apa yang you pelajari dari itu?
Yeah, waktu itu,
Yeah.
Dad was thinking, do I do this business? Do I do this business? Should I go do different house? And I realized that, I like this idea of product market founder fit. Bukan
Okay.
cuma product and market fit, tapi product market founder fit. So thinking about who are you, that's what Dad said earlier. Thinking about who is he, and he's someone that loves design. He's someone that loves building beautiful places, and so it needs a certain scale. And so I learned that it's quite important to know who you are, daripada chasing this thing or the latest hype or the latest thing, whether it's crypto or gaming or anything like that. It's looking at who is your core essence and who are you to know what to build that's uniquely you.
Ya. Pak Iwan, ini pertanyaannya tidak ada di dalam listing, tapi ini pertanyaan seorang ayah. Actually, I'm a father. Kalimat apa yang Pak Iwan rasanya menyesal dalam hidup ini kalau misalnya Pak Iwan nggak sempat katakan kepada Sam? Kebetulan Sam hadir di sini. Apakah ada satu kalimat yang rasanya Pak Iwan akan rasa sangat menyesal kalau Pak Iwan nggak ucapin itu ke Sam? Kalau sampai Sam nggak tahu.
I don't know. I think I'm good.
Ini pertama kali loh Pak ya saya tanya nih.
I know.
Ya.
Look, we are. I think I think a lot of parents, but that was an old generation, yeah. Not knowing how to say I love you to the son. I'm very proud of you. We're not that generation. We do say things, and if anything that I can be proud of, bukan aku nyesal, adalah one day waktu itu Sam kan sekolah in the private school di dekat sekolah kita, and he was good, but he wasn't number one, right? So I said something that I'm very proud of. I said, Sam, I believe you are born for something greater than that, right? Lebih besar daripada Dad. I believe you can do it. Now, for you to achieve that greater things, think about going to the US. Kalau di Australia, I can teach you. When you come back, I can give you everything that I know, but I can't teach you what I do not know, right? So I think Sam kind of responded to that, and then he's starting to put the hours, belajar gitu. I think I remember in that year, he was seen as a dark horse. Karena orang nggak tahu siapa dia. And then suddenly he was one of the top, how many is him in the school?
think top 5.
Top 5, and what's your, because I always inflated your number, 90 something.
Yeah, 99.1 percentile. Yeah.
So he graduated high school itu dengan 99.1 out of 100.
Okay.
It was a power of belief to your children that they'll do well. So I'm very proud of being able to just speak faith and love to people. I think that's something that I always cherish, because you believe that your children will do well. Now along the way, I learned things that I can do better. Ya, contohnya we force our children to do what I want them to do, right? But one day I realized if they can be what they are dengan sekolah yang begitu bagus tanpa kita yang babysitting, they can maneuver their own life. So from there I learned to just trust that they'll be fine. Just like I am. Dulu aku bisnis, setelah 7 tahun aku masih belum bisa beli rumah. My 2 brothers sudah beli rumah yang mewah banget, and we were still struggling. But at the 7 or 8 years, we start picking up the game, doing what I love the most, the shape of me, right? And then I grow from there, and there's no turning back. Gitu. So I just want them to be them, and money is not the measurement of everything. Fame is not important for us. It's for them to find their own space. Gitu. Jadi Sam works not for me, he works with me.
Yeah.
He runs his own business, but we partner together. Jadi dia bukan orang yang do not pass on my torch. Kayak orang kan bilang kita bilang pass on the baton, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't. We walk by side, bring our own torch. I'm gonna work till the day I die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work until I'm dead, right?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse. Because you know, I've seen my dad in the hospital. Dia depressed waktu dia treatment dengan cancer. But when his sister, temannya datang, he's just alive. Because that's his passion. It's not about the money anymore. It's about creativity yang keeps us young and alive.
Sam, ada nggak satu kalimat buat Papa melihat segala yang Papa sudah lakukan dari begitu sukses, sempat struggling juga, dan raise up kembali, bahkan sekarang lagi mempersiapkan ya untuk Sam yang lebih baik lagi gitu ya. Ada nggak satu kalimat untuk Papa?
Maya Angelou says, people will forget what you said and what you did, but they'll never forget how they made you feel. And I think Dad has always been someone that makes me feel like I can do it. He believes in me, and so I love that about him.
Yeah. Sam, is honored to meet you because Maya Angelou punya kata-kata itu adalah yang Kotomi pegang juga. Ya, manusia akan melupakan segala apa yang kita punya, tetapi manusia selalu mengingat kebaikan apa yang kita berikan dalam hidup mereka. Apa nasihat yang terbaik yang pernah Sam dapatkan dari Papa?
Think big, start small.
Oke. Kalau buat Pak Iwan, apa nasihat terbodoh yang menurut Pak Iwan itu nggak relevan lagi? Nasihat tetap nasihat, tetapi sometimes kan nasihat itu sudah tidak relevan lagi.
I think kita mencoba inject culture kita kepada anak kita. Contoh zaman dulu, I was asked bangun gereja. Waktu dia pakai anting-anting, I was so wow, right? Waktu dia pakai tato, wow, this is just bad, right? And it's like, whoa, yo. But now, after a few years, you realize, well, it's a culture. It's a shift of culture. And now I said, you know what? You're big enough to do what you need to do. You're pintar sendiri. I trust that you're gonna make your own decision. And now it's not relevant karena kita memaksakan satu paradigma, satu way of looking, and now I learned about I don't really care what people think, because they actually don't have time to think about us too. Jadi kita fokus aja dengan visi kita, dengan goal kita, and Sam's got to focus, and like we all do, we're gonna make mistakes, but we're smart enough to bounce back. And kayak you have built a great podcast, I'm sure there's a lot of things that you can do better. We're not perfect, but it is where we are, it's perfect gitu.
Yeah. Pak Iwan, dalam segala perjalanan bisnis pastinya nih ada sebuah culture yang menjadi kebiasaan di dalam kantor. Like kita lihat ada beberapa, let's say ada bank tertentu yang mulai dengan sapam yang smile. Itu I think langsung semua ingat ya. Dan penonton juga pasti ingat. Kemudian ada grup properti yang pokoknya karyawannya tidak boleh cheating gitu. Dia bisa tahu gitu loh ya kan. Nah, kalau di culture-nya Pak Iwan sendiri terhadap company-nya, apa satu fundamental dasar yang Pak Iwan nggak bakal toleransi? Ini harus ada di dalam kita punya culture?
Staff aku yang bilang no to me. When they said, ayo kita kerjain ini, and then they said no, I hate it. I said, but I like the staff yang bilang gini, no, Pak Iwan, we can do better. I like that. Because you're younger generation, you're smarter than me.
Okay.
Nah ini pengalaman banget, karena kebanyakan orang sering banget untuk bilang no, it can't be done. Kalau aku bilang no, if you say, look, why don't we give it a go, coba aja udah. I believe waktu kita coba itu nanti akan keluar jalan yang baru gitu.
Benar.
So I don't tolerate culture of no, and I hate that, in my company orang yang bilang no doesn't survive very long with me. But aku bilang itu setiap kali interview ya. I just want to understand. I don't like you saying no to me.
Oke.
It's simple. Nah,
Iya.
the reality is this ya,
Yeah.
kata Mia. Orang yang excellent itu tidak perlu harus dipaksa untuk jadi excellent.
Oke.
It's a culture for them. Orang yang academically excellent nggak usah diajarin atau dipaksa harus belajar because they already know the standard of excellent. Contoh di Jepang, perlu nggak dikasih tip untuk jadi excellent? Nggak perlu, karena excellence is a culture.
Excellence is a culture.
It's a culture. Di Amerika, you want me to be excellent, you give me a tip. It was the
Yeah,
wrong
yeah.
culture karena bagi dia standarnya udah beda. So I focus untuk mencari orang yang terbaik. Karena for them, excellent, being the best, nggak usah disuruh.
Oke. Nah, Pak Iwan, belakangan ini di Indonesia ini sudah bukannya rahasia umum lagi, sering ada istilah healing, nggak tahan sama stres. Bahkan ini pertanyaannya adalah tentang mindsetnya gimana nih Pak Iwan? 3 bulan kerja, 1 bulan libur. Wow. Aku rasa mata Pak Iwan lihat saya, kita tahu lah kita nggak pernah gitu loh. Kalau bisa udahlah 24 jam saingan sama ya kayak fast food itu ya. Tapi sekarang ini apakah itu juga berlaku di timnya Pak Iwan? Dan bagaimana ketika Pak Iwan menghadapi situasi seperti itu? Yang kalau di pressure sedikit, oke, resign.
Ini aku ngerti gini. Dulu aku tipe bos yang maunya anak buahku kerja dari pagi sampai malam sampai midnight kan, right? And to me is they have to work. When I call them, when I text them at night, they want to respond.
Sayang jadi pengusaha ya, sayang. Saya jadi pengusaha sebenarnya, actually aku suka juga kayak begitu.
That's right.
Kalau
yes.
kerja.
But I learned from the survival of my fight bahwa I need rest. If I need rest sebagai owner, my staff also need rest. Jadi aku sekarang pada bilang mereka, I do not want you to work tanpa break setiap 3 bulan. Pokoknya tiap 3 bulan you have to have a break. You pergi aja 1 minggu. Because you need that healing. You need it. Gitu. Even the daytime, kalau dia kerja dari pagi sampai siang, I already know by 4 o'clock pasti ngomongnya nggak bisa semua. Kecapean. It's not a commitment problem. It's a physical problem. Jadi kalau mereka dihitung, lu lunch sudah 1 jam kemana lo? Nah, they need to have a break supaya resting. Jalan kemana-mana, ke gym ada renang sini, then you come back fresh, ready to fight again. So to me anak buahku yang sekarang ku employ, aku bilang, I do not want them to always work from home, right? I don't believe in that culture, but I said every 3 months I want you to have a break. Karena kalau you kerja terus, you will be burnt out.
Oke.
And when people are burnt out, they're useless for us. Kita sendiri juga useless gitu kan, kalau kita burn out kan.
Iya.
Jadi itu yang aku waktu perang itu, mentor ngajarin aku dulu. So I ask him, kok you kan selalu bilang aku waktu itu lagi pusing di Indonesia, properti lagi ancur-ancuran, jalan-jalan aja. Isn't that the opposite? Lagi ekonomi lagi susah kan, duit lu lagi mepet kan? No, because I'm useless. I'll make the wrong decision. And dari situ akulah pergi ke Jepang. So now every 3 months I'm going.
Oke.
Jalan-jalan aja gitu. Jalan-jalan, you come back fresh, you fight again. Coba deh. I think the staff needs that too. We need it. We all need it.
Yeah.
But when they're fit, physically, mindset, creativity kicks in.
Kayaknya potongan ini bakal dipotong tersendiri, kemudian dikirim ke bos-bosnya semua gitu ya. Oke. Pak Iwan, di sela-sela semua ini.
Timnya semua hari ini bilang, yeah.
Yes, ya, oke. Kata siapa? Pak Iwan Sunito, gitu ya. Pak, di antara semua perjalanan bisnis, pastinya karir keluarga, Pak Iwan juga dikenal sebagai filantropi. Kegiatan apa yang Pak Iwan lakukan?
I do give a bit here and there, and one of the biggest yang adalah leadership ya. Tapi bisnis kita tuh dibangun karena punya visi untuk memberi gitu. Right from day one. And aku udah capai goal yang pertama gitu. Ini the next goal, and then the next vision is the next 7 years goal.
Oke.
Jadi itu yang kita kerjakan. But we do raise fund untuk misalnya sekolah yang special school gitu ya.
Special school.
Kita memberikan dana untuk aku personally untuk yatim piatu di Jakarta gitu. So there's no specific, but I do have the heart untuk keluarga yang anaknya misalnya lahir dengan Down syndrome atau
Special
autism,
needs.
special need, right? So we have the heart for that gitu.
Oke. Satu pertanyaan buat Sam dan juga Pak Iwan sekaligus menjadi penghujung ya. Kalau sekarang orang bilang, saya ini kerja udah setengah mati Pak Iwan. Dari gaji UMR saya hanya kekumpul 100 juta. Apa nasihat Pak Iwan buat saya? Anak muda yang gajinya UMR pengen punya masa depan jadi orang kaya. Apa yang harus lakukan?
Wah, ya. Aku akan investasi untuk edukasi aku. My education, training, learning. Sekarang banyak di YouTube kan. I'll spend so much time untuk itu karena 100 ribu atau 100 berapa?
Ya subscribe gitu ya.
Itu ya, itu kan nggak bisa bangun bisnis ya.
Ya 100 juta.
100
Ya
juta
uang
enggak.
rupiah.
Aku
ini
akan
rupiah.
bangun untuk edukasi aku akan bangun untuk network aku. Jadi aku akan, kalau bisa aku yang bayarin kalau pergi makan sama orang. And I did that. Orang pikir, wow, kebanyakan orang biasanya nebeng kan, kalau
Yeah.
duitnya mepet kan.
Iya.
But they're actually fundamentally wrong gitu. Karena kenapa? Contohnya kita deh. Waktu itu aku mentor satu anak muda. Dia gajinya X gitu kan. Aku visinya aku stretch 5 kali lipat.
Yeah.
Dalam waktu 2 tahun, 3 tahun. Aku suruh mulai sekarang kamu ajak bos kamu makan. Dia bilang, nah duitnya kan mepet. Nah, think about it, dia bilang. Setiap kali ngopi kan paling
Iya.
berapa kan?
Iya.
Kira-kira kenaikan gaji kamu setahun berapa? And there's a saying yang berkata bahwa walk with the wise and you will become wise. It didn't say that walk with the wise that you may, tapi berkata ya kamu akan menjadi lebih bijaksana. Aku bilang tempel bos you, ngapain you don't tempel bos you sendiri?
Tempel bos.
Nempelnya sama bos lain ngeritik bos lu.
Ah.
Wrong step, gue bilang. Oh bos gua susah, bagus nggak ada yang nempel dia kan? You yang nempel aja sama dia. So not just the boss, everybody. Dan Sam, I think in the USC juga diajarkan bahwa it's not just what you learn, it's about your network. Karena your network is your net worth kan?
Net worth.
Networknya. Jadi dalam hal itu aku spend waktu untuk invest kepada orang, kalau bisa gaya yang royal, bukan royal maksudnya be generous.
Loyal
Jangan
and
ngajak
royal.
orang lalu
Generous.
minta dibayarin terus. No, invest. Orang itu juga tahu kok dia balikinnya lebih banyak kok sama kita. But by doing that, you're
Yeah.
investing relationship sama orang.
Yeah.
Ketemu orang untuk belajar. Don't
Yeah.
just go and meet people. Gue dapat apa ya sama orang. No. Just purely bangun relationship. Because when you walk with the wise,
Ya.
you will become wise.
Oke. Nah, tapi Pak Iwan gini loh. Actually adalah dengan dolar yang fluktuatif seperti ini, banyak yang pengen kerja kabur aja dulu, bahkan ada istilahnya kabur ke luar negeri karena di sana kalau dikonversi ke sini kan jadi besar. Kalau Pak Iwan adalah, kan kebetulan Pak Iwan adalah putra Indonesia, memang hijrah gitu ya. Apa yang Pak Iwan pikirkan untuk kondisi Indonesia saat ini?
If I'm here, kalau aku nggak bisa ke luar negeri, aku akan lihat kesempatan untuk do deal yang nggak bisa dikerjakan waktu booming market. Negosiasi tanah. Aku akan menggunakan kreativitas aku untuk membantu orang yang nyantol. Aku akan perbesar networkku ke seluruh dunia, berkata bahwa ada oportunitas untuk beli di Indonesia murah. So I will do that.
Shifting the mindset.
Shifting the mindset. And kalau marketnya lagi kosong di sini, kayak orang bilang, kalau nggak ada lagi ikan di kolam, carilah di laut samudra.
Yes.
So start stretching it out. So I love tough
Yeah,
time
yeah,
because it
yeah.
stretches us gitu ya.
Iya. Nah ini Sam, jadi artinya sekarang saya bisa kerucutin pertanyaannya adalah apa yang Sam lihat sebagai anak muda, opportunity yang ada di Indonesia. Nah itu mungkin.
I mean, the social media usage here
Yes.
is the digital literacy kayak very high compared to all other places in the world. So I think creating content, being able to tell a story is very important. Bisa kayak looking within and then finding what's your unique source, what's your unique kayak superpower, and then
Yeah.
bisa if you can share that story really well, especially in a culture yang ada banyak digital usage, that's probably an opportunity there.
You mean bangun personal branding?
Yes, like you, sir.
Oke. So, terima kasih Pak Iwan buat waktunya dan juga Sam. Senang sekali Sam bisa datang ke Indonesia ya, dan saya berharap bisa ketemu Sam lagi. Dan tentunya teman-teman, terima kasih juga buat Anda semua yang sudah menyimak acara ini, acara podcast Ngopi ya, ngobrol penuh inspirasi bersama Kotomi, dan tamu spesial saya yang kali ini pasti akan membawa insight yang luar biasa buat shifting mindset Anda. Kita akan ketemu dalam episode yang berikutnya.